Hi everyone, welcome along to Scrapping Scotland with me, the Scottish Scrapper. Today we're going to do a little bit of a teardown video. Haven't done too many recently just because, as you can see, the chaos behind me has demanded a lot of my time trying to sort a lot of that out. I'm now kind of getting to the stage where I can start to clean things up and get rid of some of the stuff. So I don't have the biggest shed in the world and it is full of stuff, so I do need to, do as much as I possibly can to get it sorted out. Having said that, I want to do a video for you guys because I've not done a tear down one for a little time, so we'll do another one today. What I'm going to tear down is this car entertainment system. So you may remember the old kind of radios that are in cars. Nowadays they've all got these big display screens. You can make calls from them. As you can see, the little kind of call button here has voice control, all that kind of stuff. So I've never torn one down before, so that's what we're going to do today, guys. So thank you for joining. As always, you're always very, very welcome along. And let's get into it. I shall lower the camera so you can see a little bit better. Again, apologies for the mess. Okay, so a quick look at it. A couple of screws on the back, keeping on the front panel. So we'll go round, take off any screws that are there, and then we'll get into the main body of the unit. And we'll do this in fast forward. Okay, so that's all the screws out from the front panel. There may be more, so I may have to take more off, but let's see if we can get this front panel off. It's got a nice little tilt to the screen, as you can see. Got a cool one. That lets you access the DVD, or the... yeah, it is. It's a DVD drive, so may power something else in here. It does say there's a hard disk drive on it as well, so maybe a hard disk in here, that would be good. Okay, I can see it's not just going to come off nice and easy, so what I'm going to do is undo the rest of the screws, and again we'll do that in fast forward so we can get into it. Okay, that's all the screws out. It still feels pretty solid and not coming apart very easily, so we may have to get a couple of pries in here to pry it apart. One piece off does reveal the hard drive. Nice gold pins on the end of that little Toshiba hard drive, and the ribbon will contain gold receivers in there. hopefully. So now I've managed to pry the side piece off, I can see that this main piece of metal is actually connected to the board through a screw. So it looks like I'm going to have to get the top piece off as well. As usual, there's a couple of screws I forgot to take out. Okay, so there's the top piece of it off. This is a disk drive, the DVD disk drive. We'll stick that aside for one moment. And we'll get the screws out of this board. Okay, screws are out. Hopefully that'll release the other metal pieces and release the board from the unit. Okay, there's still a little small board here. Sorry, just swatting a fly there. We'll get this one out. Nothing much to say about that board. We'll just stick it in with the rest of our boards after I take this metal piece off. Just to clean it up a little bit. Okay, so this piece itself is magnetic, but the little pieces inside are not. So we'll break them out. Doing this very carefully. You know, if you slip one way, you bang your hand off a metal, then you can guarantee you're going to cut yourself. And we don't want to do that. Okay, that one is metal. Is magnetic, sorry. Let's check the other two. Oh, and these two definitely aren't. So they are going to be stainless steel. And then this bit can go on a shred pile. Okay, now we've got the board. It's like a two-sided board as well. There's various little boards attached to it as well, so we'll get them all off now. Separate them out. So we'll process this fully later. That's a little aluminium heatsink on top. And some tantalum capacitors here. A couple of small IC chips. Some small MLCCs. And these are little copper windings inside these things as well. But again, nice gold pins there as well. Always good. Yeah, this one definitely got a bit of aluminium on it as well. Does have pins in there, but they're not gold pins. But again, we'll just separate this bit off. Okay, so that's a little unit we've taken off. Probably all you'll get inside here is maybe a little chip, maybe a little crystal oscillator. There is definitely a gold jack in there. Then we can see that board a little bit better. This piece is just covering the pin box. And then we've got the aluminium heatsink. It's covering a little chip underneath here. It'll just be a VGA chip. Got another one here as well. We've got our little copper toroid here. Some aluminium capacitors. Not too much. Our ribbon isn't gold plated. And the pins inside the receiver seem gold plated on top, but not fully gold plated. If you can see there, it's silver that side. Okay, aluminium heatsink just pulled off. Just some noise suppression there, vibration suppression. As I say, there's our little chips that are underneath. Okay, so this one, remove the fan, that goes in with our boards. Clean up the heatsink, quick check on the magnet, definitely not magnetic, goes in with our aluminium. And that is extruded aluminium as well. Okay. So now that brings us to the front facing panel unit. Okay, we can see we've got a little DC motor here. It is magnetic steel. Okay, so we'll just take this apart. A few screws to get out, and then hopefully we can just pull it all off. Little slip there. We may be giving some blood to the scrap gods. that's alright. Okay, proving to be a little bit difficult getting this metal separated, so what I'm going to try and do is get the springs out each side and then see if we can take that plastic bit or remove this kind of top piece here, and then hopefully we can lift the metal piece off. Okay, there's the main pin out. Not magnetic, not magnetic. So stainless steel. That now allows me to take off the unit with the DC motor. That looks like it's just a DC motor and some plastic. Some very small screws in there, which I'll get later. Finally able to release the metal. Which is just steel shred. A little mini board out. One on the other side. Little bits of gold on that, as you can see, on both sides. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just kind of break this apart. Okay, it's a plastic waste. No metal in there. And we took out all the boards, even though a couple of them were really small ones. Leaves us with the screen. So let's take the plastic off the screen and see what else is there. A small piece of stainless. Okay, it's not separating easily, even though all the screws are out. So, give it a little tactical tap. With the tactical tap tool. That appears to have done nothing but smash the glass. This outer case actually feels like it's aluminium rather than plastic. Yeah, definite aluminium. Does have some plastic pieces attached to it by the look of it, but I'll check them out. May just be that it's painted rather than these being plastic. We'll stick a grinder on them at some point and check it out. Okay, again the outer frame, aluminium. This piece of steel. And there's our board. Okay, again not a great deal in the board, but it's a board. Little piece of gold there. Some gold pins, and these gold pins look like they're gold all the way. So fully gold pins. Got some ribbon here. And that is gold flashing ribbon. So let's get this board off. And there we go, there's our board. I see we've got a little bit here with gold pins, and we have another one here with gold pins. Don't know if that makes it a high grade board, medium grade board. I think probably medium. I don't know. A lot of you guys out there know much more about these e-waste boards than I do. So leave a comment, let me know. Okay, outer frame is glass. It's stuck to the metal frame, so I'm just going to put that in the waste as it is. I'm not going to mess with that. Already cut myself once, let's not do it again. Okay, there's a gold ribbon. And then these are just like LCD TV screens, yeah, take apart, as you can see. None of which is good to me. This is an aluminium backing. There's lots of plastic attached to it, so I'll have to clean that up if I put that in aluminium, or I'll just go in dirty aluminium. So there's a little bit of aluminium within that whole unit, but it's all dirty. And that's it, guys. So not a great deal to get out of that unit, but what I did get out of it, which was the value stuff, has got 3 small boards, a couple of half decent boards there as well, to be honest. We've got our little Toshiba hard drive. Let's have a look. It's only a 40 gig hard drive, just a small one, yeah, 40 gig. And we have our disk drive unit. Okay, so I'm going to take the disk drive out of here just to see if there's kind of nice disk drive board on it, because you get some nice gold pins in there as well. So let's have a look. Okay, steel shred. As usual with these things, there is a disc in there. Our very small screws keeping this together. We'll have a look and see if we've got a bit that will fit it. The answer is not for the drill, but magic, abracadabra, there we do. If you're a scrapper, guys, you've got to have these little kind of sets. Yeah, so you can buy these off anything. I think you can actually buy one off Temu as well. You can buy them off Wish. You can buy them in your hardware stores. You know, they're pretty abundant. It cost me, I think, probably £7 or £8 for this, so maybe about $10, something like that. And incredibly handy for the little either obscure screws, different kind of bits, different heads on screws, or for really small screws. It's more of a specialist item for the likes of mobile phones and laptops and things like that. Come in handy for little screws like that. Pieces just go straight into the shred. Does look like there is no disk drive board. Although when you turn it the right way, there's the board. I actually didn't mean there wasn't a board, what I meant was kind of the pins on the end of it. Okay, so I think I've got all the pins out of it now, all the screws. Hopefully we can just take the bits off now. I have even taken the screws out of the little motors that are in there. There's 3 little motors, so there's one here, one here, one here. Probably the only one I would kind of not take apart fully, because I wouldn't probably take the copper out of it, but I would punch through the little bit of brass that's in there. Okay. So that's our 3 motors. You can just stick them in your motor pile, doesn't matter what size your motors are. A little bit of gold flashing on the ribbon cable. There's a little board. So 4-sided chip. Again, gold pins in here. And they do look like full gold pins as well. And just one little chip on the back, really. And a little transistor. I know you guys in America sell this stuff to the boards like that, to board sort. You would separate them into disk drive boards or hard drive boards or whatever they are. I don't really have an equivalent to board sort here that I've found yet in Scotland. I do have a little one, a place over. I'm from Edinburgh. If you go over the water, over the Firth or Forth, which is a huge inlet river from the North Sea into Scotland. Over the other side of that river is Fife, and in Fife they do have a e-waste scrapper or e-waste recycling centre. So I've not been there yet. I want to make sure I'm going with a good load, so it's worth my while. But also spoke to the guy via email, and he couldn't actually give me a price for anything. He said that I'd have to bring it all through and he'd need to grade the boards. So there was kind of no indication of what those gradings would be in terms of monetary value. It also told me it doesn't take individual components. So doesn't take chips, doesn't take capacitors, doesn't take whatever, yeah. It just takes the boards. So not quite sure how that works. Normally your e-waste scrappers take all different things, full laptops, things like that, so I don't know if he does that, but I think the only way to find out is to go through and see what they'll do. Problem with that obviously is if I go all the way through there with all my boards and they give me a crappy price, then it probably hasn't been worth my while and a waste of time. So, but I'll never know for the future unless I go and do it and find out. So there was a DVD, Ice Age, a Mammoth Christmas. Okay, kiddy's favourite, I'm sure. And just more steel shred. So this is what I've been using now for my screws, nuts, bolts, little pieces of metal. Throwing them all in there. This was an AdBlue container. AdBlue is what you put in your car for the reduction of your emissions. And I need it. Put 10 litres in my car every 4 months, something like that. And this is the container, so I've been using this for my screws. Nice and handy. Keeps it all nice and neat. And that's just our last piece of plastic waste. And that's it, guys. That's the full teardown of the in-car entertainment system. As I say, we've got a little bit of aluminium from that, although it's dirty, it will need to be cleaned up. We got our hard drive, and we got our disk drive, and we got several little boards, so not a complete loss. And it was another teardown video, something different again, something I haven't done before. So I hope you enjoyed that one, guys. If you did, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Look out for more videos from Scrapping Scotland, and we'll see you on the next teardown. Bye for now.